Let's go! I don't think the brand has had much success yet. I would say success comes from respect from the industry that you're in. So we can call ourselves successful once, you know, brands in the industry that have the respect and that have been doing this for almost 40 years, some of them over 100 years, some of them. Once we gain the respect from the brands like that, I would say that's when you're successful. But as of right now, we're kind of just trying to, you know, get the best we can at what we do, and we're just trying to put the coolest clothes out that we can. And hopefully that success comes through respect in the industry and people kind of start noticing what we're doing, especially with the next cut and sew stuff coming out. September, first week, yeah. Living in New York inspires me as an artist just through the grittiness of the city. Everyone out here is kind of trying to get their bag. Everyone out here is trying to do what they do to you know, become as successful as they can. So just through like seeing, you know, the poverty levels, seeing like the way people move, the way people act, like just experiencing New York is just super inspirational. You know, the grit of the city is just unmatched, and any other city I've gone to, it just doesn't have the vibe that New York has. And I also just have really good homies that pull up to my house and kind of just hang out and, you know, tell me to keep going. Like my homie Sai, he's got a movie series coming out. Just, we've been friends for a long time now, and he just pushes me to keep going. Tim, obviously, like having a dude by your side at all times inspires you to keep going. And you know, my homie Tristan, my homie Coconut Fam, my homie Drew, like the list goes on. Like all my homies from prep, my homies that I talk to still from college, just like the homies I met in New York, my homies in LA, just all that inspires you. And it's cool to be the dude that's like in New York and kind of like dealing with this grit and fucking trying to come out of it.
That's what they call cereal.
My creative process is different every time. Some designs happen in 15 minutes, some designs happen in 6 months. Some designs aren't accepted by the big dog at first, and then they come back and they come out. But I mean, the process is just kind of comes originally with just finding cool colors, color combinations that I like, and then, you know, with the cut and sew stuff, trying to do stuff different, like taking in different aspects of my life and different places I've lived and things I've experienced. And you know, you got to dress different for every situation. So as far as design goes, you know, you think about like, hey, I can wear this design to the beach, but I can wear this design within wash to like a formal event. So, you know, when it comes to designing, the process is different every time, but mostly it just comes from color coordination and trying to like touch all aspects of fashion. From a t-shirt all the way to high fashion, which hasn't fully came out yet, but the high fashion part will come with due time. Working on a cut and sew project is kind of crazy. We filtered through a bunch of different people, but now we have our team, so it's getting easier. Right now, the cut and sew stuff that's coming out in the fall has been like a 6-month process. So usually, like, you know, come up with a design on the computer and then sit down with some people and pick out the fabrics and get those shipped in. Get the patterns made by one of my dudes in New York. And then once the pattern's made, we'll go through like 3 prototypes just to get it perfect. and then once it's perfect, like we'll okay it for production. You know, best case scenario, it takes like 2 months, but right now we're kind of delayed a few months, so it's been like 6 months since our last cut and sew stuff. But I think the next cut and sew stuff was a really like cool journey, and I think y'all will like it a lot. So I'm stoked for that. We're gonna need some backwoods. If you had to pick a few artists, I mean, we're always listening to TDE, like Schoolboy, Kendrick, Ab-Soul, J-Rock, SZA. Isaiah Rashad is like big dude in my playlist. And then like right now we're kind of on Playboi Carti, Young Bands, and then A Boogie's like big right now for us. But as far as music goes, we listen to like all different types of music. We'll listen to, you know, rock and roll. My homie Drew plays a bunch of tropical house, which like is a vibe. I listen to table jazz music in the morning, drink tea and like paint. So yeah, our music is all over the place. I mean, you know, we all have our different takes on music, so whoever you're with, you kind of just vibe with them and listen to the music you both like. Robots kind of came from a dark time in my life. I spent a bunch of time like in and out of the doctors, and like I spent some time in a hospital connected to some wires. So the idea of a robot just came from like someone else, from your life being in someone else's hands and kind of like being connected to wires and feeling like almost like a robot. And then from there it just grew to like different aspects of society where like we feel like robots within society. You know, human nature is to act a certain way and do certain things, and it's just kind of crazy, and sometimes life just feels like a movie, so we feel like robots, and you know, you kind of just have to do what you gotta do to make your robot who you want to be. My favorite place to fish is at this body of water in my hometown. There's nothing like going home. Like, I love my family so much. I feel like that's my family and my close friends are like in my company and my art. But that's really it. So I love going home, and then fishing is like one of my favorite activities. So fishing at my hometown is top 5. My favorite cartoon is Angry Beavers. Fire. My favorite cereal is Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms mixed. That's a gas pack.